Set in Germany just before World War II, Alfred Döblin's Berlin Alexanderplatz, 1929, is a classic novel following Franz Biberkopf, a recently released convict struggling and ultimately failing to turn his life around. Considered one of the most significant literary works of its time, a 2002 poll of authors ranked it among the 100 greatest novels ever written. Doblin, known for his versatility across genres and styles, remains one of Germany's most influential writers. 4 years before the novel begins, Franz Biberkopf committed a terrible mistake. In a jealous rage, he attacked his mistress, Ida, with a cream whipper, inadvertently killing her when a wire pierced her chest. Now, having served his sentence, he stands at the gates of Tegel prison. The gatekeeper urges him forward, but Franz hesitates, determined to reform and lead a respectable life, yet unsure of what awaits him. The city of Berlin, however, is not kind to his ambitions. Overwhelmed by its chaos after years of prison orderliness, he hallucinates rooftops flying off buildings. Yet a compassionate Jewish couple takes pity on him, helping him regain his footing. He begins selling bow ties on street corners and finds companionship with a woman named Lena. Things seem to improve until Lena introduces him to her uncle, Otto Lüders. Franz shares a story with Otto about a widow who, enamored with him, bought shoelaces from his stall. Seizing the opportunity, Otto later visits the widow, pretending to be Franz. He assaults and robs her, leaving Franz unknowingly implicated. When Franz returns, she turns him away, and he realizes Otto's true nature. To avoid trouble, he retreats to the outskirts of the city, returning only when he feels ready to try again. Determined to stay on the right path, Franz soon befriends Reinhold, a charming but ruthless gangster. They strike a deal. Whenever Reinhold grows tired of a mistress, Franz will take her off his hands, sparing Reinhold the task of breaking up. The arrangement works smoothly until Franz falls for Silly, one of Reinhold's discarded lovers. When Reinhold expects him to abandon Silly for another woman, Trude, Franz refuses. Instead, he and Silly warn Trude about Reinhold's pattern, and Trude, in defiance, resolves to stay with Reinhold as long as she can. This choice sets off a chain of events that will test Franz's resolve and drag him deeper into Berlin's dark underworld, pitting his aspirations for redemption against the forces determined to see him fail. Seeing Franz's defiance as a betrayal, Reinhold begins plotting his revenge. When the gang plans its next robbery, he invites Franz along under the pretense of picking up a fruit delivery. But when the heist goes awry and the gang is forced to flee, Reinhold seizes the opportunity, pushing Franz out of the speeding getaway car. Franz is run over by a police vehicle, sustaining injuries so severe that his arm must be amputated. As he recovers in the hospital, old acquaintances from his criminal past, Herbert Wischchow, a pimp, and his mistress, Eva, come to his aid. They take him in until he is strong enough to stand on his own. To help him rebuild his life, they introduce him to Mais, a young prostitute who soon becomes his lover. She continues working to support him, but also secretly grows close to Oskar Fischer, a member of Reinhold's gang, hoping to gather information that might protect Franz. Eventually, Franz regains enough strength to re-enter his old world, even visiting Reinhold again. The gang is initially wary, fearing he might have betrayed them to the police, but they soon realize he holds no grudge. Reinhold, however, is not done with him. He devises another plan, this time targeting Maisie. He lures her into a secluded forest under the guise of a walk, attempting to seduce her. When she rejects him after he insults Franz, his frustration turns to violence. In a fit of rage, he kills her. Panicked, Reinhold calls Oskar, and together they bury Maise's body in the forest. Days pass, and Franz grows anxious over her disappearance, though he suspects nothing when Reinhold casually asks him to purchase a large trunk. Unbeknownst to Franz, Reinhold later returns to the forest, exhumes Maise's body, and hides it inside the trunk in a new location. When Oskar is later caught during a robbery, he bargains for leniency by revealing Reinhold's crime. The police search the original burial site but find nothing, until they stumble upon the relocated body. Soon after, an arrest warrant is issued for Franz, as witnesses recall seeing him buy the trunk. Reading about Maise's murder and his own wanted status in the newspaper, Franz goes into hiding. Determined to clear his name, he sets out to find Reinhold. During this time, he believes he is guided by two guardian angels, conversing with them as he searches. But before he can confront Reinhold, the authorities get to him first. His former friend is already in custody. Franz's luck takes another turn when he unknowingly walks into a nightclub just as the police raid it. Arrested and overwhelmed, his mind unravels. Now institutionalized in Buch Asylum, he falls into a catatonic state, lost in a psychological confrontation with death itself. In this surreal trial, death challenges him to truly embrace life. When Franz finally awakens, he feels reborn. With newfound clarity, he adopts the name Franz Karl Biberkopf and takes a job as a gatekeeper at Tegel Prison, the very place where his journey began. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.